stand for the prayer and pledge.
Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in thy decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call this Hancock County Commission to order this third day of September 2015, and by the train whistle, the 2:33 is on its way through New Cumberland. Item 1, approval of minutes. Approval of commission minutes from August 20th, 2015. Gentlemen, they are in your packet. They're on smaller paper this week. So,
Move to approve.
we have a motion in front of us. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Citizens' presentations. Anyone like to? It's a sparse crowd this today. Anyone like to present to the commission today? If not, moving on. There's no correspondence. New business. Item 4. County Commission approved to enter a contractual agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Services on behalf of the Drug and Violent Crimes Task Force program.
Move to approve.
Discussion? Comments? Vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. County Commission 2, approval to enter in a contractual agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Services on behalf of the Prevention Resource Officers program.
Move to approve.
Discussion? Questions?
Basically what these are is it allows us to receive grants from the Justice Assistant Grant Program. That money goes toward exactly what you're reading it for. I know one for sure goes to $30,000 goes to the PRO officers in the high schools to help pay for that, keep that program going. So these are very nice for us.
Yes. Further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Dog Warden B, approval of the August 15th monthly report.
Move to approve.
Discussion? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Office of Technology and Communication requesting on behalf of the ABOC to advertise for the complete and demolition of 2 properties.
Move to approve.
Mr. Vitus, this is the 2 properties.
Yes, sir.
Correct? This is a corrected.
Right. This is the property at Pyramus Road. Previously burned structure that is still standing that needs to be demolished and made safer for the neighborhood. And the second one is Casey Drive, 76 Casey Drive in Weirton, actually through Kings Creek, and the back part of that building has collapsed, and that building also needs to be taken down.
Yes, and these are severe safety
Yes, sir.
hazards. And the list was rather longer, but I think a couple of them corrected themselves.
Yes, sir. We took a few out today.
Good.
There's money set aside for this particular program once you bring these to our attention.
Yes, sir. And what we're asking is that we advertise and have them demolished and then put liens against the property for the value or the cost of the demolition and leveling of the property.
Counselor Witt, we put the lien on the property or the property owner?
Well, it's a
Is
judgment
it
lien.
this?
So it's really both, in a sense. It'll pertain particularly to this property, but as a judgment lien, it can potentially affect other properties of record that they may have. You're trying to get back your money from that particular property owner.
So other properties, if I own that property, which needs to be corrected and I own two of it, then you could put a lien against my house on Second Avenue.
That's the way a judgment lien works, yes.
Okay. But a lot of people don't know that. They buy it for taxes and then just sort of let it go, and it's dilapidated. And okay, all right. Did we have a motion?
Move to approve the advertisement of the two properties. Demos.
Discussion? Further discussion. Should have done that first. But all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Miscellaneous already. Approval of probates and estates.
They have been reviewed and are recommended for approval.
Move to approve the probates and estates.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of exoneration orders. And there's a bunch of them.
Move to approve.
Discussion? Vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. General county bills. Karen?
General county bills were $22,869.72. P-card payment was $27,115.71.
Move to pay the bills.
Motion on the floor. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Fire allocation bills and requisitions.
They're okay.
Move to pay.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Library levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheltered workshop levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay as well.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Karen, anything for us today?
No, sir.
Nothing out of the ordinary?
No, sir.
Good of the order?
It's okay.
Counselor?
Nothing today.
Sheriff?
Two things. I'm sure most people came through the courthouse today saw the new piece of equipment we have parked out front. It was just delivered today. It's a speed trailer, we're calling it. I've already spoken to Mr. Vitus. We need to get it on the insurance. Need to get it registered and put a plate on it, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm kind of anxious to have that up and running. It's really state-of-the-art equipment for what it's designed for. We'll be able to put a message board out there and let people know why we're slowing you down. For instance, we might have athletic traffic in front of you, so we can put something like that up on the board to help warn people to slow them down. And as I'm sure you are all aware, that this was all paid for out of the Concealed Carry Fund, which is a fund that grows through the Sheriff's Office from people who purchase concealed carry permits. This particular piece of equipment cost $15,253. So it was not paid for out of general budget or out of my budget or out of your budget. It was paid for out of concealed carry, which I'm really quite pleased about that. The other thing, I mentioned it last or 2 weeks ago that West Virginia Sheriff's Association is having their annual meeting and it's coming up 13th, 14th, 15th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. It'll be at the Mountaineer. I went ahead and, without your approval, I used your logo on a hat so that I could pass out something to the sheriffs to remember where they came, that we're on top of West Virginia. Okay, if you want to pass that up there. This is one, gentlemen. They're under construction right now. They're being made, so otherwise that comes back to me. All right, looks good.
I join the force.
It looks good. Looks good. So anyways, just to let you know that we're bringing 55 counties up here, sheriffs as well as their chief tax deputies. And they usually bring, I don't want to call it an entourage, but they'll bring extra people with them. And maybe we can showcase our county. Because I think we have a lot to show, a lot to offer, and I'm very pleased. That's all I have.
How's that open to like the public, any people, or is this strictly
sessions? Or it's pretty much strictly just the association. They go over the laws that's changed. They go over different budget items that's coming through, and there's actually classes that we try to put on for different new sheriffs and so on. So it's. I'm sure you can come on up and walk around, and Mr. Davis has done for years. And I know Mr. Schwartzmiller has admitted to our meetings, too. I just haven't been around long enough to be able to school you on that. But I'm not going to throw you out. How's that? Be a Mountaineer.
Question on the message. You said you're calling it a message board. It
Yes.
has a radar component to it?
Yes. I'm sorry.
It says
this is made by Custom
your speed
Signals.
is...
Right.
Okay.
This is made by a company by the name of Custom Signals. Custom Signals has been in the business for years as far as offering radar units for law enforcement, the handguns, the stuff they used to hang over the side of the window, etc. This is made by the same company. So yes, it will signal how the speed that you're doing and let you know the speed that you that is listed, so you can automatically know that you're over or under. And then the message board is separate, that we can tell you something ahead that might be helpful to you to change your driving habits. If that answered your question.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Did you hear that word? Perfect.
You're just one. What else do we have today? Ms. Carroll?
Yes, thank you. Hancock County Old Time Fair is next weekend. It is a very family-friendly fair at a very family-friendly price. Our 4-H and our WVU volunteers are always happy to be out there every year, and I invite you all to make sure that you can come out and encourage your neighbors. It really is just a nice weekend fair for families and people to get together. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention today, and I'm putting this over there for Mr. Smith to take a picture of, the West Virginia Department of Education, WVU, is working with them to hold what they're calling an academic spotlight. And it's a review of the current curriculum standards for the English language arts and math. And what's happening is that they've started back in July for an effort to solicit actionable feedback on the West Virginia Next Generation Standards, which are the current set of educational standards in K-12 in West Virginia. They have a website, and that's here on this poster, called wvacademicspotlights.statestandards.org. That's going to remain open until September 30th, which are asking people to go in. And if you have areas that you have concerns with or particular grades, you can go in and give feedback, read those standards, and give feedback to them, to the state. I've never heard of this before, the state coming out. That's what I love about West Virginia. They're not afraid to ask for feedback. And they're doing this in a couple of ways. Number one, it's through this online website. Number two, there's going to be a town hall meeting. And we do things regionally in West Virginia, so of course we go to Wheeling, right? And it's going to be at West Liberty University at what they call their ASRC, which is their Academic, Sports, and Recreation Complex, in the Boyle Conference Room. And that'll be on Tuesday, September the 22nd at 6:30 p.m. So they're coming out to talk about the standards and to get some feedback from people. And I think that this is amazing because not only are they doing the online, but they're also coming out and talking with people, in group settings. So I know there's been a lot of talk throughout the state and from people talking about these standards. This is their opportunity to give specific feedback and to hear what's going on. So very much wanted to promote this, and I'd like to hang this downstairs if I could in the courthouse, if that is okay, to make sure that people have an opportunity to see this. Okay? Otherwise, we're getting ready to get our club started up again in the fall, and we're doing fine. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else is here? Anything happening in 911?
No, we're good right now. Just waiting for the building and
Oh, you're not in yet?
about this close. Or maybe this close, I'm not quite sure.
They might be in when you get back.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just on vacation mode. I'm just in the islands right now.
Oh.
So.
Miss Brenda?
At this time, I just want to announce that I am not going to run for re-election to Circuit Clerk's office in 2016. It's a decision that I've kind of pondered for quite some time, and I've decided that it is time to retire. It has been just an honor and a privilege to serve the court, the county, the folks. I've met a wonderful group of people, and kind of looking forward to the next chapter in my life. And of course that involves travel and family and all of the things that we all want to be involved with when we retire. So I just wanted to make that announcement in case there's folks out there who are thinking about running for office. I wish whoever runs, the very best.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. Robert?
I can't really follow that, but the only thing I'd like to do is I'd like to just give a brief apology to the people that may have tried to use the courthouse yesterday afternoon. We were forced due to lack of water to close at noon yesterday. So if anybody came up to the courthouse to get information or pay your taxes or anything, it's sorry, but we did have to close yesterday because there was no water for sanitary purposes or any other reason. So that's it.
Good. George?
The only thing I'd like to do is tell Brenda I wish you the very, very best of luck.
Thanks.
In your endeavors. We talked about this before.
Yes.
And I can see you're happy. I think you told yourself you made the right decision.
Yeah.
And we're all-
15 more months or thereabouts. I'll still be around, but yeah, it's a good decision.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
You're going to leave a lot of good friends.
For sure.
Okay, George. Commissioner?
I wish you luck, Brenda. I know you've mentioned that to me before, so you're a great person. That's all I can say. Didn't know you very well years ago, and I truly thought you were the right person for the job. You got the job, and you proved that you have been the right person for the job. So, I do have a couple things. Hope I don't bore you. Try to make it quick. Mr. Alonji is not here today, and that's fine. But we do have a website that's available to pay the taxes on, and I just want to let people know that there will be a 3% fee based upon your dollar amount if you go to pay online, and that's the credit card fee. So the reason that is, if we took the 3% out of the tax money, then definitely our budget would go down. But there is always a fee to use a credit card, and just be aware of that if you go on there. If you have a large amount in taxes due, then you probably could afford it. There's no problem. If you have a little amount like me, that a couple dollars means a lot. So I didn't realize that was on there. But it is, and it'd be nice to make the public aware. That is a credit card user fee. The other thing is there's a lot of talk about the drugs in our county, in our city, in our area, in our panhandle, in our state, and in our country. And it's probably not going to go away. It's going to be here. And how do we deal with it? I don't think we have answers. However, we do things here. And maybe we're not reaching the right people, but there are programs out there. We have PROs in our school system that we are paying for through our tax dollars, whether it's be the excess levy, whether it be the JAG, this Justice Assistant Grant, that we just received a few $30-some thousand for 40. And we actually, the commission puts money in to offset the cost of these PROs. I believe it adds, 6 men to your staff? Or total between Weirton and the sheriff's deputies? Every school has a PRO.
7 officers in our county.
In our
2
county.
From City of Weirton.
City of Weirton.
5 from the county. That man, each school, each building has an officer in it.
Yeah. And we do refund some to the City of Weirton, and they pay for some. And along with that program, we get education there. Mr. Fletcher and Mr. Watson have said that they would probably put together something of what they are doing in that system. So we are out there. There are sources out there reaching to the public. And sometimes, if you look at who comes to those, it might not be the people that need those, and the people that need it don't come. So the extent of what you do is above and beyond what probably most people do. And I commend you guys. I commend it being in the elementary schools. I think if we educate our kids on them, show them what the drugs are, show them what the things are, they might be aware of it. However, we can't get their parents there and tell them what to look for your child to be doing it. Whether you're missing teaspoons in your drawer, your kid's teeth are starting to rot, then you know you're into something. If you're sleeping all the time, if your grades go down. How do we get that out to everybody? We're not. And how do we get the drugs off the street? We're probably not. You just need to make people aware of the drastic effects they have on you, and probably the least thing they worry about is what it does to their families. And you want to add anything to that? It's
if I
up
can
to
add
you.
to that, our PROs last year, just in our high schools alone, 2 high schools in our county, they had 68 classes they taught. In middle school, they taught 189 classes. Elementary, they taught a total of 208 classes. So out of our schools, 465 classes were taught by our PROs on the subjects of meth, peer pressure, drugs, alcohol, tobacco, substance abuse, bullying, and probably several other areas. And they offer mentoring to each child. So our officers are not only there in the school to try to protect the children while they're there, but they're also part of the staff and trying to assist in educating our children and making them safer when they go home.
I think Mr. Watson said they do attend like the PTA meetings where
Yes.
they attempt to reach out to the adults that are there.
They're there for the PTA meetings, and adults who show up, of course, they interact with them and try to answer any questions they may have. But this is ongoing as far as educating our children, but what you're talking about also is educating the general public, the adults. And we do that also. It's ongoing. If you missed our class this year, we'll have to wait another year before we're able to put something else back on together. It's just the interest, and it changes with the people. As your children grow, your subject that you're interested in changes. So there you go.
And that's all.
Commissioner Davis?
On a brighter note, happy Labor Day. Hope everyone has a nice weekend. And,
long weekend.
Enjoy yourself.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Good, I get more time. Not really. The obvious benefit of the pro officers in the county, especially on the secondary level, is, without saying, these are young adults that, they need additional supervision, guidance, whatever. But the real key to our county is we have elementary pro officers, and not a lot of counties have that. And being an old elementary principal, you don't. That's where prevention starts. It always sort of irked me a little bit that we have a big anti-smoking campaign in the junior and senior high schools. You want to start in kindergarten, first grade, to prevent students and show them the benefits of not smoking or drugs or alcohol. So, kind of proud of our citizens in our county for having these pro officers in every school in our county. I think we're very rare in that. I'm not sure of the state. Brenda, good luck. Looks like there's going to be a lot of campaign posters and signs out here in come 2016. So, but my comment for today was, we have a website, HancockCountyWV.org, and it's very functional and it's very user friendly. And I had to use it last week. I have a piece of property, and to be honest with you, it really doesn't have a typical address, so I had to look it up. And so I go on the website, and anyone who owns property in Hancock County, it's real simple. You simply go to the website, HancockCountyWV.org, and I had to look up the property, so you go to the assessor's page, and Mr. Alonji's picture is right there. On the left-hand side, it is tax mapping. You click on that, and then it even has it broken down into 3 districts. And you can type in an address, and again, I didn't have an address, so my property is up towards Mountaineer, so I just typed in Mountaineer Park, and then you simply move the screen down. I found my property. It's all mapped out, and it's kind of a neat feature. You can see just where your property is at in relationship to your neighbors, and you can see who are your neighbors. There's a lot of around me, so you simply click over on that, and it shows who the owners are. So I thought that was kind of a neat feature, real easy to use. So the assessor's office and the mapping office did a good job with that. So in the next couple of months, I'll try to be going over the website and sharing with you some of these things that the public really needs to know. Nothing else, gentlemen? I'd like to call for an adjournment until September the 17th, Thursday at 2:30. Motion?
So moved.